The 2016 Rio Olympics, the first ever held in South America, were filled with concern about readiness and costs. But things went as planned, and the Games ended with fireworks. Now, Brazilian athletes headed to Tokyo face a daunting task because of the coronavirus pandemic. The Brazilian Olympic Committee has shipped 20 containers of sports and medical protective equipment to Japan ahead of this summer's Games, postponed from a year ago.
These are all the disposable materials that we will not return to Brazil. There are PPE materials, masks, aprons, face shields, everything one can imagine for the protection of our delegation against COVID-19.
Last month, Brazil began a mass vaccination program for athletes, coaches, staff and journalists going to the Olympics. According to the health minister, more than 1,800 people will travel immunized with China's Sinovac and US Pfizer vaccines. But Brazil is bracing for a third wave of COVID-19, which has already left more than 500,000 dead in the country, second only to the United States. Many say this time the country should skip the Games. Aidano André Mota, a well-known sports commentator, believes Brazil and every other country should reconsider their participation.
Eu penso na pandemia como uma guerra.
I think the pandemic is like a war, and we have examples in history of situations where the Olympics had to be cancelled, the ones in 1916, 1940 and 1944. What we're facing now is even worse, a global conflict that is affecting humanity as a whole.
Athletes, on the other hand, are optimistic, especially the sailors, who need to take their boats way before the competition begins. The one-year delay has given them more time to prepare.
Our boat was ready in early 2020 in New Zealand, where it was made and was supposed to be immediately shipped to Japan. But due to the pandemic, the Brazilian Olympic Committee allowed us to bring it to Brazil, so we had more time to do work on it and have it in the best possible condition.
The Olympics are just around the corner in Tokyo. Another delay is unlikely, but going ahead in the middle of the pandemic will almost certainly be a long-standing debate. Lucrecia Franco, CGTN, Rio de Janeiro.